Welcome back to Crash the Industry, and today I'm excited to welcome a true media powerhouse, Kevin Pryor, better known as 950 Kev, the LeBron James of the radio game. With over 20 years of experience in media advertising, Kevin has worked with industry giants like Subway, Sony, and JetBlue, crafting marketing strategies that deliver results. As the host and co-producer of the hit 950 Lounge radio show, Kevin has built a platform that has become a staple in the entertainment and media space. Now, with the launch of 950 Media LLC, he's taking things to the next level, creating quality content that's redefining the media landscape. Join us as we explore Kevin's incredible journey, his insights into ever-changing media world, and how he continues to innovate and inspire. Welcome to Crash.
Brother, where I send the check at, man? That was hot, man. Damn.
Listen, I learned from you when I first went to your show. You gave me like the dope intro, and I was like, damn, that's good. I didn't even know I did that much stuff.
Lo and behold, but before we start, I want to say I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you and your power, your beautiful wife, your power couple. You're doing it. And this is something we first met. You said this is what you want to do, and you're making it happen. Fantastic studio.
And that was like, what, over 8 years ago or something
yes,
like that?
it was a minute. It was a minute.
And then I met up with you and your partner. I met with your partner, and he was like, yo, you would be dope in this space.
Right.
And that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And today,
but you're doing it now.
I just had to jump out the window.
Yeah.
I took a lesson out your book, out of Damien's book. And shout out to DWI.
You crashing the industry, brother.
I'm doing something. I'm doing something.
Crash the industry.
So you're called the LeBron James of the radio game.
Right.
If your radio career were an NBA game, what was your biggest slam dunk moment for so far?
Well, you know what, man? You know that dunk that LeBron did with D Wade, and D Wade does this.
Yeah.
That's me, because again, from a standpoint of making the play, the basket, but also being the assist.
Okay.
Really, my background and even how I got into this thing is so it's so far-fetched, because I had been in media for many years and had no interest in doing this type of stuff, did college radio and all that other stuff, and had no interest in being involved with this. My brother Rodeo, who you know from the 950 Lounge show, my birth brother, my older brother, people don't believe that because I'm so much more serious than him. But nevertheless,
he got eyebrows.
Yeah, he's Batman. he go to beautician. But in any event, he came to me and it's like, yo, I'm trying to help my comedy. So what should I do? So I'm like, yo, why don't you get a show? Now this is like 2013, 2014. The evolution of podcast and streaming had not really taken off. Obviously, we had radio and we had different things, but it had not become the boom that we're living in today. And, I said, why don't you just do a show? But unbeknownst to me, I did not want to be a part of it. I said, I'll help you set it up. So we started doing some stuff, and it just didn't work out. We were, just like a barbershop making jokes, just cracking jokes for 2 hours. And while, it was funny, I cringe when I see that video, because it's just like, that's not quality. And I was about ready to give it up. I said, bro, you on your own. And one of my former clients in the media space had reached out to me on, at the time, Twitter. And, you know how it is. If you're doing something well, you have no problem telling people. When something sucks, you're not having that conversation. Yeah. So, I was like, she's like, hey, how you doing? And I don't know why I mentioned I was doing a show. I can tell you right now, I had no idea. Why did I even say that? I typed it, clicked send. I'm like, why did I send that? And she was like, yo, would you be interested in doing an interview of a celebrity? And I'm like, yeah. So we were using this circuit, again, I'm showing my age. It was a thing called radio loyalty.
Okay.
And you can only service like maybe 400 listeners. And we had this artist on, and we blew that out in like 5 minutes. And I said to myself, maybe I've been looking at this the wrong way. At the time, we were doing it at a friend's house in Mount Vernon. I'm like, yeah, 3 black guys in the house in Mount Vernon. You want to bring guests here? It's going to be Get Indicted Radio. So that ain't going to work. So I pulled my brother aside and said, look, I think if we're going to make this thing work, I got to take over this thing. He said, I've been waiting for you to say that. So then we decided to let's put some money in, invest. That's when I got with DSN, DWI, big shout out to him. And we was like, yo, we didn't know each other, but we grew up in the same neighborhood. I'm a few years older than him. We grew up in the same neighborhood, knew a lot of the same people, but we just never connected. And then we just got our thing going, and we kind of brought a program that I think was unbeknownst to what was happening. It was a combination of conversation, topics, celebrity interviews, and we just grew it from there. Fast forward to 2018, we're doing a show, and we interviewed a very, at the time, obscure, run-of-the-mill politician, or want to be a politician by the name of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Okay.
Nobody knew who she was
AOC.
then. AOC today was just Alexandria then. She came into the interview. She had a camera crew following her. We did the interview, did a great interview. 6 months later, 3 months later, she wins this election. Out the blue, she wins the election. 6 months later, she has her Netflix documentary. So I get a call from somebody like, yo, you on Netflix? Netflix? You know, like what I'm on. If somebody get robbed and I ain't get arrested, so what type of interview I'm on? What type of thing I'm on? I said, no, AOC. And then the producer reached out and said, yeah, we used your interview over the Breakfast Club and over Rosenberg and Ebro, and you had the best connection. And we just kind of took off from there, from getting opportunities with some bigger networks to getting bigger guests. And then just the evolution just started to flip after that interview, and it was kind of crazy. And that's, we've gone from there today. And we're looking at one point to kind of get picked up. Because when we first started, it was like, hey, we're going to build this to get picked up. But after we, had some contracts, and I've been in media for many years, I know what a good contract looks like. I'm like, well, I ain't Kunta Kinte. We ain't doing that.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay independent, and we're going to do our own piece, and we're going to continue to grow it, make our own money, and become the show we're supposed to be. And that's where we're at today.
Like I started off not taking it serious either. On episode 1 through 4, I'm in shorts. My shirt collar's hanging. I'm like, I'm just showing up to talk to one of my friends. And then as it started taking off, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get a little dressed. I gotta do something a little different.
I was gonna wear a suit. I had a suit on earlier.
I swear to God, I had a blazer with the brown shoes. I was like, because I know Sue gonna dress up and Kev might come with a turtleneck. I don't know. So
I was gonna come suit out. I've been up since 4 a.m. I had a couple meetings in Jersey, but I said, nah, let me go home. Let me go casual. Yeah.
So what was your wildest or most memorable moment you've experienced on 950 Lounge?
That's a great one, and it's funny. We're putting together like a 950 Hall of Fame. It's 2. I can't give you one. I got to give you 2. First one is when the first time we had Heather Hunter on the show. Now, listen, I was trying to get Heather Hunter for, obvious reasons. Some of the younger people probably don't know. Who the hell is Heather Hunter? You go Google her. But I had reached out to her. She had no interest, and I sent a personal note like, please, Miss Hunter, it'd be a pleasure to have you on the show. So she finally decided to come on the show.